For centuries, scholars knew about a mysterious text called the Gospel of Judas only through the writings of early church leaders. Around 180 AD, the Christian bishop Irenaeus mentioned a group that possessed a book portraying Judas Iscariot in a radically different way from the image found in the New Testament. According to Irenaeus, this group believed that Judas was the only disciple who truly understood Jesus and the hidden purpose behind the betrayal. However, the text itself disappeared from history and remained lost for nearly 2,000 years. Everything changed in the late 20th century when an ancient manuscript was discovered in Egypt. Researchers soon realized that this document might be the very Gospel of Judas described by early Christian writers. After years of being passed between antiquities dealers and suffering severe damage due to poor storage conditions, the manuscript was finally restored and introduced to the world in 2006. The codex was written in Coptic, the language spoken by many Christians in ancient Egypt. Carbon dating suggests that the surviving copy was produced during the 3rd or 4th century. However, the original composition may have been written much earlier, perhaps around the middle of the 2nd century. It is important to understand that Judas Iscariot did not write this text. The document was composed long after the deaths of Jesus and his disciples. For this reason, historians do not consider it a first-hand account of the historical Jesus. Instead, it offers valuable insight into the beliefs and theological debates that existed among certain Christian groups during the 2nd and 3rd centuries. The Gospel of Judas mainly consists of conversations between Jesus and his disciples, especially Judas himself. From the beginning, the 12 disciples are portrayed in a surprisingly negative way. In one striking scene, Jesus laughs when he sees them praying together. When they ask why he is laughing, his response suggests that they do not truly understand the God they believe they are worshiping. Throughout the text, the disciples are often depicted as confused, ignorant, and unable to grasp deeper spiritual truths. Judas, on the other hand, is presented as the only disciple capable of recognizing Jesus' true origin and mission. One of the most significant differences between the Gospel of Judas and traditional Christianity lies in its theology. Many scholars believe the text reflects ideas associated with Gnostic thought. According to this worldview, the material universe was not created directly by the highest God. Instead, it was fashioned by a lesser divine being, often portrayed as flawed, ignorant, or even corrupt. Above this creator stands a supreme and transcendent God who exists beyond human understanding. Within this framework, Jesus is depicted as a messenger from a higher spiritual realm. His purpose is not merely to preach repentance, but to reveal hidden knowledge that can awaken humanity to the truth about reality and salvation. This is where Judas becomes a central figure. The text suggests that he alone receives secret revelations from Jesus and understands mysteries that remain hidden from the other disciples. Because of this, many media reports following the manuscript's publication claim that the Gospel of Judas had completely rehabilitated Judas's reputation. However, later scholarship revealed that the situation is far more complex. In several passages, Jesus addresses Judas using titles that may carry negative meanings. Some researchers argue that these descriptions indicate that Judas is not being praised at all. As a result, scholars continue to debate whether the text ultimately presents Judas as a hero, a villain, or something in between. For that reason, it would be inaccurate to say that the Gospel of Judas simply celebrates Judas as Jesus' closest friend. The text is far more nuanced and contains elements that support multiple interpretations. Regardless of how one views its theology, the Gospel of Judas remains one of the most important discoveries in the study of early Christianity. It demonstrates that the first centuries of Christian history were marked by a remarkable diversity of beliefs about God, creation, and salvation. Rather than changing what historians know about the historical Jesus, the Gospel of Judas helps us better understand the wide range of ideas that circulated among early Christians before Orthodox doctrine became firmly established. It provides a fascinating window into a world where competing visions of Christianity struggled to define the nature of God, humanity, and the path to redemption.